All right, guys, we're back for game number two. Game number one was quite the doozy. Average Joe's coming out swinging hardcore. I mean, Average Joe's might be banned in certain states after that game because it was too hardcore. They might have to perform their matches only in California and Florida. So, Garrosh and Genji banned. A little respect there for random tasks, Garrosh, but I'd still think Urel is just as dangerous here. So, and that's exactly who Average Joe's is going to be picking up, as I've been corrected that it is a Jazz Us, and Jazz will be picking up that Urel once again, looking quite mighty on her as well. Now, Deckard is going to be coming on out, and I really like that. So Blaze is pretty much the go-to unless they pick up the Dahaka, which was banned out. So they're banning the choices of Team Snorlax, their biggest pick rate heroes, and some of their highest win rate heroes left and right. If you were with me earlier, you would remember that I was talking about Team Snorlax and how, let's find them on here. Team Snorlax had chosen Dahaka a ton, 66.7, so 4 games out of their 6 games. Rainer, they've chosen now another time, which ups it to 4 out of 7 games. Johanna, 3 out of 6 games. And Blaze has seen 2 games, but they have yet to be successful with the Blaze. So this is actually a really nice move overall for Average Joe's. They've essentially backed him into a corner with choosing a hero they have yet to actually have success with. Now, the Diablo and White Mane. Clearly, if you're not going to get Garrosh, taking Diablo is a very, very strong move. And that's going to be, I would have actually liked to see them ban Muradin here, because at that point, Garrosh, Johanna, Diablo, and Muradin would be off the table. And you see that happened immediately. Muradin is the pickup here. And taking a look, we're going to see they actually have played Zeratul. They've played him 3 times, but only have won once Team Snorlax. So I really would have liked to see the ban on Muradin instead, even though they are yet to be successful with the Muradin as well. The reason I would think that's the best ban, because they would have completely locked down the draft. Like I said, Garrosh, Diablo, Johanna, Muradin. Like, who are you picking? Who are you picking? ETC against Diablo and Urel and Whitemane, Hanzo, and now Asmodin. So they're going for some macro control here with Asmodin. The Hanzo is an interesting choice as well. We'll see how many bombs he can be dropping alongside of those dunks. Between the arrows and Asmodin, that can be a lot of AoE damage. And additionally, with Whitemane there, she provides some armor, potentially with the Scarlet Crusade or Divine Reckoning, which would then be putting down even more damage. It's a combination of things that they have available on the side of Whitemane, or with Whitemane. So I like the top 3 choices. I don't know how I feel about both Hanzo and the Asmodin. And on the other side, we're going to see Blaze, Muradin, Phoenix, Thrall, and Deckard. I really like what Snorlax has chosen here. They're comboing with a Thrall, who's going to be getting the EQ almost 100% just to pick up with Phoenix. So you got Purification Salvo with an Earthquake, and Whitemane has no escape. Asmodin has no escape. Urel has very minor escape, I guess. It really depends on the positioning of where she is, where the Earthquake drops. And Diablo, if he actually Shadow Charges in, will have literally no way to get on out of there. So this is both a risky comp on the side of Average Joe's and high risk, high reward overall, and I'd say a little bit safer on the side of Team Snorlax. We'll see how well it actually executes, because we're about to jump into game 2. We got Noob Slayer a 76 here once again, this time on the Deckard. We got Kui on the Blaze instead of playing the main tank. We got Green Pickles on the Phoenix. Noob Slayer 67 on the Thrall. And finally, we got Potato Ninja on that Muradin. And that's going to be a Team Snorlax. On the other side, we got Jazzes on the Urel once again. We got Random Task on the Diablo. TJ the Greatest 303 on the White Mane. We got Hazer on the Hanzo. And finally, where is he? Tad MG on the Asmodee. A lot of damage, though, coming on out onto Random Task. And he's going to have to back on up because remember, Diablo is a wet paper bag in the beginning of the game. So taking a look at what we have here. Ooh, we're getting a Crash, a Lightning, a Thrall. This is going to be hella spicy. We got the Mobile Offense, we got the Endurance Stimpack, the Perfect Storm, Sapphire, and on the other side we have a Feast on Fear. And there's a lot of places to charge and stun on, so can definitely see some really high value out of that on this map. We got the Maraud's Insight, the Martyrdom, the Wrath, and finally Simple Geometry. And Wrath, in case you don't know what it does, you get, extra damage or extra annihilation every time you hit someone with a basic auto attack while they're under 75% life. And once you complete it, or complete the quest, which is 200 of the 400 that you can get, that'll be, well, 75% of the amount of damage he would do with annihilation or with the globe would also be turned into auto attack damage. So simple geometry, not so simple at this point at time. Now, this invade is very aggressive. They're coming on in. They do have that Thrall. There is a lot of damage coming on out. And this is a great invade because really Tad has to get those stacks to be really, really scary. And Random does not have enough souls to really be a force to reckon with. However, all that AoE damage, look at it. They melt each other's faces, but if Random Task actually had the souls, and they probably could have held up a little bit better there. In the top lane, we got Jazz taking on Kui, holding it as best as he can. Kui's a little low on the mana nonetheless. We got Potato Ninja rotating on up. They do have the talent lead. Won't be able to rotate up for a gank because of how far that lane is actually being pushed in. In the meantime, we got Tad on the bottom lane, trying to get those stacks going. As he ramps up those stacks, so does his damage. So a little bit better macro here coming on out from Team Snorlax. They pick up the mid siege camp and they get that invade. However, they are not getting the bruiser camp, which is potentially the most critical one to pick up as it's the most influential. You'll see that they're pretty slow as it is right now. We do have the explosive arrows and no extra damage from the simple geometry on the minion, so it can't actually do this ultra fast. They do pick this up pretty well timed. They have a creep wave coming on in, and at the same time a bot is being picked up by Team Snorlax. I'd say this is a better trade overall for average Joes because they have to stay on top. Unfortunately, it's not fully there, and Kui is going to be tasked with either defending this or coming on down. So they should get as many skeletons as possible as they have a 5v4. And they know exactly, there goes the invade, or the charge onto Green Pickles, the dunk, Potato Ninja coming on in, but a big root from Noob Slayer 76, and they are going to take control of this, nonetheless, average Joes, as they are waiting for Blaze to come on down. They don't even have sevens. Jazz are going to knock them around like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. The root, the stun, and not going to be enough. Potato Ninja going to have to hop on out, and they are now at 23. Kui coming in hot, looking to get a big old flank. There he goes with the oil, the stun, 4-man stun, and they are chunking him down the root, but Jazz will hit him with that hammer, knock him on back. Random Task coming on in hot, trying to get the damage and peel. So 29, the dunks keep coming in, and they all need to tap if they want to continue this fight. The slow onto Random. It's 30-29, and quickly, beautiful stun once again from Kui. The knockback from Jazz will keep him from aggressing any further. And this is coming down literally to the wire. 35, 37, 38, 39, and they pick it up, a Team Snorlax. So this is going to be really big. They have taps used, they have to fully back, but they get themselves a talent lead. Oh, random task. Oh my god. Random task almost going down there. Really, they're a team that's about scaling. You can see 66 stacks, 36 souls. But Crash Lightning, 11 out of 30. This is insane. The fort is going to stay up. They're going to take it down. Random task is looking for a potential angle, but this is really, really aggressive if he tries to go in. We get the dunk. Not going to get that much value out of it. And as someone pointed out, we don't have the sledgehammer actually chosen. We got the Thunderburn. We also have given the axe, the more traditional thing to go. They do lose the fort, and they are down a full level Average Joes at this point. So Average Joes going to have to scale out of their minds in part due to the Wrath. And once they get that Wrath stacked up, well, it's going to be a whole different game. Kui going to have to back on out, getting a little bit hammered there by Jazz. And this point, well, they just need to clear up these waves ASAP. We have the Never Outmatch combined with the Explosive Arrows. So Explosive Arrows in general will get you better wave clear than the actual extra damage for mercs and minions. However, you'll be not clearing up these mercs significantly or very quickly without that talent at 4. So we also have the Flames and the Souls. We also got Divine Steed once again and Gift of the Naru for additional healing. Jazz looking for a potential flank here. They do have 2 in the top, and Jazz will actually retreat all the way back up. We got the Bombardment, the Battleborn, the Intercession coming out, so we will have the actual Cleanse available and Unwavering Faith. Other side, we got the Combat Advantage. Target acquired, a Manatide, Ancestral Wrath, Rill and Kill, the Oil Dispersal, Random Task picking up a little potato there. They're trying to do as much as they can, but not really going to be doing too much at this point. We also have a Thunderburn and given the axe, as pointed out, Emerald, and the Rejuve Potion along with Sapphire. So you don't see Rejuve Potion that often. Most people pick up the Potion of Shielding because you can get 100% value out of it in a team fight a lot of times, unless you play very carefully to walk in, pick it up, and walk out to get 100% of the value of the heal over time on the Rejuvenation Potion. But with 10 advantage, Team Snorlax making the perfect move. Let's do whatever we want. We're going to pick up the mid camp, we can go and pick up the bot camp, and then we can go push in and prep for the next shrine. So with no one clearing up bot lane on the side of Average Joes, they're going to be feeling this because this is a big wave. They're going to lose quite a bit of XP, and they're going to get this shoved in up to their towers. Now, 110 stacks, 18 out of 20. We need a few more for Hanzo, and then it's going to be Value Town. We got the Ardent Defender, we got the Scarlet Aegis this time around, Tide of Sin, and Dragon's Arrow alongside the Lightning Breath. There's the Invade they're looking for. Random Task is going to spot it out. The stun going to be peeling for his team, but now he's locked down. There is no one to save a Random Task at this point. The Lightning Breath trying to chew through him. The Dragon's Arrow from Hazer going to meet the mark. Potato Ninja coming on in, and the stun, they will take down the Potato, and they get themselves a 1 kill. Green Pickles getting on out using the Purification Salvo, but Jazz is in pursuit, hot pursuit of them. The Oil Dispersal will be good enough to deter them from aggressing any further. At this point though, they have 8 seconds before they have to worry about Muradin, and well, Blaze is not really a main tank. If they keep this up, they can push this in, and they also have the Shamans here, and TJ, the greatest 303, will heal them up as soon as possible. Noob Slayer looking for the plank. Kui looking for it. Random Task going to go and charge on it, and they will back out for now. This is a very hard map to actually fight on. There's a beautiful Lurinado knocking him back, and the root will capture only Hazer, and the dunk is not going to be much. TJ dropping the damage on Green Pickles and dropping his shield down, and at this point, Hazer should have completed the simple geometry. 124 stacks. They are now at 20 of the 40 needed. The dunk not going to actually do much of anything there from Tad, and they are still pushing in from afar. So they get the advantage that they have, you know, Jazz and Random Task to peel. Hazer in TA can dunk the damage in from afar, and you're going to see that right now. There's the stun. There's the parting of the Red Sea from Noobslayer67. The lockdown from Decker. The purification salvo and the knockback. Oh my god, this is absolutely devastating. Random Task going to be going down, and he will fall. Jazz up next. Doesn't have the Ardent Defender, and Team Snorlax, well, don't sleep on them, baby, because they are laying down the wombo combos. So, they still have not completed the stacks. 154. Once they hit that 200, it's going to be really, really big. We'll see, like I said, it's maximum of 400. So 400, and you can see, still dropping them. Still dropping the bombs. They will have everyone back up very shortly. We do have 0 souls, though, for Diablo. And Urel is going to be coming on back. TA going to have to pull up back out. And really, this is very dangerous for Average Joes right now. Average Joes has to basically give up this fort 100%, because if they get Dovan, it's going to be brutal. There's a dunk, getting some big old stacks in there. We're now at 170. We're almost at the coveted 200. But remember, once again, 0 souls for Diablo, so now at this point he's a wet paper bag. Only 16 on that Crash Lightning. We still got a while to go. Game's halfway done, and I don't know if we'll actually get it. Random Task, getting it on over. We do have the rest of the team. I'm poking it down. I'm going to walking down towards the mid. However, they're going to lose the well 100% here. And it looks like Team Snorlax is going to be accepting that this Punisher is not going to get too much more out of it. And they'll just take what they can from the top to open up the map and potentially end the game off a top lane Punisher later on. So, 196, we're almost at that coveted point. Bot lane, it's not still pushed, well, not even taken down during that entire time where Tad had the ability to just use his Lieutenant of Hell and use his trait. It feels a lot weaker than it used to be. And because of that, you don't get nearly as much pushing value as you can see. This hasn't even taken a tower while they were up there fighting that entire duration. So, Tad does finish the coveted quest completion point. So he should be able to do a lot more damage. Bottom is going to be picked up. And, well, that's going to push in. Like I said, you can see started doing tower damage in the bot lane. They're looking for Diablo coming on in. The unstoppable lightning breath on the back. The donk onto Green Pickles. Noob Slayer. In a blink of an eye, they have taken out Decker Kane. The Lord NATO has come out, but they get themselves one right now. There goes Random looking for the booty of Murden, but his beard is protecting him. Average Joes are trying to claw their way back into this. They're not that far behind. They are down in a level, and they will be down in talent tier. However, they have yet to lose a keep, which is the most important part. Random does have a great vision right now. His team could come on in. They aren't actually going to come on in quite yet. There they go. There's the overpower. There's the stun onto Kui. Kui does not have the bunker, but he does have the fuel leak to be able to get himself out of there with the jet propulsion. So top lane is going to be picked up. And this is very early on this side of Team Snorlax. By picking this camp up so early, this means that they have a very easy opportunity to clear it up before the next objective. And because they'll have the easy opportunity to clear it up by next objective, oh, this is very risky. 16 versus 14. There's a root onto Jazz. Jazz going to be a lockdown down all alone. Lightning breath coming out. The Ardent Defender value, baby. And they're melting through. Tad coming out a little early with the dunk. There's the Scarlet Aegis, 40 armor, purification salvo is going to do almost nothing to the backline. Random, however, is going to be going down. The dunk still not going to be enough. Green Pickles trying to melt him, but the port is going to interrupt the laser. And Tad is being chased on down. Jazz trying to do his best, and beautiful body blocks, but it's going to cost Jazz his life. So 2 members down from Average Joes, and no one down on the other side. In this shaman camp, pushed all the way up to the keep. And now they're actually looking to take this keep. Oh, this rotation is so nice from Team Snorlax. They know they have themselves quite a long time and that they can take this keep before even worrying about anything. The dunk, not going to do enough. Random going to be here now, though, and it is still a 16 versus 15 fight. And they're going to actually go and take the Bruiser camp, it looks like. Oh, this is greedy, but I like it. They are still flexing on average Joes. Basically, we have the talent advantage. We will do as we please because we are Snorlax and we got the, the Hyper Beam ready to go. So with that, they're going to have Shamans pushing on in, holding that down. They have Green Pickles starting this up at the same time. This is one of those lose-lose situations, almost like the first game. You need Jazz to clear it up, the Shamans, and you need to get 16 before you fight for this. And they do get the 16, but they're about to hit the breaking point where they cannot fight any further. We do have a 313 stacks now. That's a lot of damage for Tad. They need to get in now. They do have Jazz coming on in. There's the dunk. Going to hit nobody as it's a pretty slow dunk nowadays. Random taking a lot of damage. They have chewed through Diablo almost instantly. His team coming in too slow. The Lornado not going to catch anyone. Ardent Defender being popped simultaneously. And this is a Punisher marching on down 4v5. So this is pretty brutal for average Joes right here. They have no Diablo for another 15 seconds. The best they can hope for is Jazz to get it to pop on over. You can see the front wall still standing down here as well. And they are starting to get this front wall down and no Punisher to leap. This is really, really bad. We do have Random Task back up. He does have 70 souls, so he's not really a wet paper bag. There they go, looking for it. There's the stun follow-up. They are not going to land it, but that lightning breath coming on out. We got the bunker. Not going to get too much value. They do hop on in. Jazz looking for the leap on top of them after, perhaps. The Dragon's Arrow going to delay him from getting much more with this Punisher, but that is 2 keeps down. So at this point, we have 2 keeps down, and this is very hard for Team Snorlax to lose. They hit 20. They essentially are creating the reverse situation at this point. They're going to look for the fight here. Random Task going to spot out Potato Ninja. There's a root actually going to avoid it completely, but they're turning onto Diablo. Lightning Breath not available. He will get on out, and they're fighting in a very, very tight corner right now over a Merc camp essentially, but really for their lives. Tad dropping the bomb. And we got Random coming back in, but he's not going to land it against the wall because he gets interrupted. Random still sticking hit out there, and he will be going down. Purification salvo onto 3. Jazz will be standing for now, but White Mane will be going down. TJ 303 losing his life in the meantime. Jazz losing his life, and congratulations to Team Snorlax. They've reverse the series almost exactly the same way that the first game went, 20 to right now 17. Have every fort up, have almost every wall up, and Team Snorlax just proven they can execute on this comp very, very well. So taking a look there, Noob Slayer, 59,000 damage basically. Tad, 57,000. When you think about that, Thrall out DPSing Asmodin, to me it kind of shows Asmodin is not actually that valuable of a hero. His nerf trait basically doesn't get enough value most of the time. His AoE damage comes out too slowly, and as such, there's heroes that can keep up and out DPS him, such as Green Pickles. Consistent damage that doesn't require, Phoenix, Green Pickles on Phoenix, proving the consistent damage, the purification salvo, much better than the inconsistent damage that Asmodin brings. You have Hanzo dishing out 50k damage, keeping on up. So the Hanzo was pretty good. I feel like the Asmodin was not the pick for him. Although he dished out damage, it was very easy because you have this long window of opportunity to heal up during it. And the further away he is, the easier it is to just fully avoid it altogether. Now, looking at the total healing output, we're going to have TJ, the greatest 303, getting almost 65,000 healing. On the flip side, Noob Slayer 76 getting 45.7k. So, White Maiden once again proving that she can out heal a lot of people. But Decker Kane is such a great playmaker with some of those Lornados available, just making things happen, and the root on top of that. So, taking a quick look at the tanking numbers, Random Task tanking a boatload of damage there. I mean, almost twice as much as Muradin and Jarell. That's very impressive. At the same time, Random did die a lot, so I mean, he is the main tank, so if he goes down, it's kind of a hard time for Average Joe's. So congratulations to both teams. Average Joe's flexing in game 1, and Team Snorlax coming on in with that body slam, showing that, well, don't second guess what they can do. And they don't need a Dahaka or a Johanna to win these games. They can still win them perfectly fine. So that's it for game number 1, or the first series, or match 1 for this evening. We have another match going to be happening right after this at 9:30, which is going to be Ban Cho versus Zul'jin Distillery. That is a Division D match, and hopefully you'll stick around to join me for that series as well, because I definitely expect some good action there as well. They're pretty even, those two teams, if I recall correctly. Yeah, Bancho is 5-3. Zul'jin Distillery 5-3. So expect a pretty good series coming on up next, and you get to see how some of the lower divisions are playing, what some of their meta is like, and some of their choices overall. And I'll be bringing you some of those stats as well once again. So thanks again, everyone who's joined me. If you hit follow, I definitely appreciate it. If you subscribe, I like infinitely appreciate that. But even more importantly, stick around or come to more of my shoutcast, because that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the people and not for myself. Well, I guess I'm doing it for myself to have all the people watch me do the casting. But thanks anyways, and we're gonna hit the highlight reel while we all wait for the next series to get started up at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.